Adventures in Colorectal Cancer, 2026, June 25th. So a friends of mine, had a friend that went through colorectal cancer. I had been talking to her off and on, by text and via messenger for a while. And I knew she had radiation. Now, since radiation is now on the table as a treatment option, I reached out to her again and said, okay, this is what my current situation is. Radiation is on the table. You had radiation. What can you tell me? Well, it turns out her situation was a bit more complicated than that. She had an 8-centimeter tumor on the inside of her rectum. So she had radiation to try and reduce the tumor before surgery. And in the surgery, they took out her rectum. And apparently, there are varying amounts of pelvic lymph nodes. And she had 11 or 14 lymph nodes, doesn't matter, removed. And the lymph nodes were clean. She's happy that she had the surgery because she got, it was advanced. It was a tumor in the wall of her rectum. And she got to see her children graduate. On the other side, she had diarrhea for a year. She was going to the bathroom 10 to 11 times a day for a year before things settled down. So this is the dark side that they don't tell you, that I imagine they don't want to scare you, because basically they're saying, well, we're saving your life. So that's basically what I'm facing. I'm not facing a couple of months of recovering. I'm facing years of getting back to something where I might not have to plan out what I'm doing because of where the next bathroom is. She said, although she has never shit her pants, she has made significant messes in other people's bathrooms because she just didn't get to the bathroom in time. When she travels, she has to make sure that if it's a bus or an airplane, she has to fast for a couple of days to make sure there's nothing in her stomach that will come out, which means she can't eat on the way as well. She doesn't have a problem eating anything. She doesn't think her diet's restricted, but it has turned into constipation. So before going to bed, she has to make sure she takes some sort of laxative, or she just doesn't poop. The rectum really controls the regularity of the digestive system, apparently. And once that's removed, the digestive system has no idea what's going on. And you can wind up with something called stacking, where you poop once and you think it's done, and then all of a sudden you poop again, and then all of a sudden you poop again a little sooner, and this thing racks up until basically the contents of your stomach flush through your intestines. Your system is fully cleaned. So this is the sort of stuff that no one says about this sort of stuff. And it's a balancing act. Like I get that, she has a husband, she has kids, but it's a major driver in wanting to spend the rest of your life wondering whether or not you're going to shit your pants in front of people. I'm 68. I've never been married. I have no partner. I have no children. have no grandchildren, therefore. I have no nieces or nephews. My parents are my only living relatives, and they're 90 years old. So I'm balancing, what do I balance this sort of drastic change in my lifestyle? Because I dance social tango, so I'm out most nights dancing. So that's going to be put on hold for at least a year while I figure out how to control my bowels, if I can control my bowels, and if I can actually, leave the house. And for how long do I have to leave the house? And how much planning on what I eat and when the last time I shit was, so that I can make sure that in the middle of the dance I don't shit my pants because I can't get to the bathroom soon enough. So yeah, and do I want to stay here? So my parents are, 90 years old. So if this is a 2-year project, is my landlady's old? Is she going to have this house for 2 years? Am I going to be able to stay here for the 2 years while I recover? Do I move back to Ontario because I'm the executor of my parents' will, and can I get back there if they have a funeral in the next 2 years? Man, what a fuck! This is just a mess. It's really, really, really stuck at what to do. I'm very good at making decisions normally, and this is really hard. I really, really, truly don't know what decisions to make here. All I can do is wait. So I talked to the medical oncologist tomorrow. I did get the colonoscopist report to the medical oncologist, and he's basically just reiterating whatever and saying, yeah, I've done my part. This is sort of what's going on. I've done my part, and it's up to the surgeon now to decide what to do. Well, I guess, I'll talk to him tomorrow, but because there isn't a tumor to treat, he's not going to be involved in this. And which brings up, well, radiation oncologists, there's no tumor, so what are they going to treat? Now, there's some side effects apparently with the bladder. You can wind up with bladder cancer out of this. Which would make me, potentially incontinent in the future. Well, I'm pretty sure there's diapers to hold the contents of my bladder, but I'm not sure that there's diapers to hold all of the contents of my intestine in liquid form. Yeah, wow, what a fucking mess. And to be honest, it's the major emotion right now is self-loathing. How did I get here? How could I have been so stupid as to get here? This could have been prevented by sticking a Q-tip in my poop every 2 years. How stupid could I be? Even though, I can look at this and go like, well, there's it's a 50-50 chance I would be here anyway because of the timing of things. But yeah, making appropriate life decisions. You don't make any money, but you get good stories.